We're sitting down with the Eli Young Band. How are you guys, and how's things been going for you guys lately?
Things have been good. We been out on the road. We put out a record last year called Fingerprints, and now we've got a new single out called Love Ain't that's going to be coming out middle of June. We're excited. This is from our next project. So.
And speaking of Love Ain't, and I know that you just released a single and it is heading to country radio here soon, but give us a little background on this new track.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Look like you really
You went for it, so I was letting you go.
Yeah, we are, I don't know, when we're trying to pick a song, we always love those really common themes of, like love is one of the most common themes of songs since they've been written. And it's great if you can find something that has like a slightly different take on it. Our first big breakout song, Crazy Girl, was kind of that same thing where it's not exactly what you expect when you hear the lyric, but it's a love song. And Love Ain't still a love song. It's more about what love is, just with some pretty country phrasing in there, saying love ain't. And we really fell in love with that. Plus, it's just super catchy. It's one of those, after you listen to it once, you're trying to sing along to the words. So we loved it from that aspect. And so we went to the studio, recorded it, and working with a new producer, working with Dan Huff for the first time, who we've always wanted to work with. And it just came out really great, and the label wanted to run with it right away. So here we are, starting the next chapter.
That's awesome. That's exciting. And speaking of the new album, I know it's still in the early phases, but what can you tell us so far about the project?
Well, we've only recorded a few songs for the new record, so the great thing with the way we're doing this next record is we're not going to rush making the album. We've got a few singles ready for the next round, but we're still writing for the next record. So depending, it just depends on how we're all feeling and what we write over the next few months.
We'll see if records are still a thing here in a few months. You never. It's funny. We've been a band now for 18 years, so we've had a nice long career, and just the way that the musical landscape has changed, the business, the way the radio, the way people just consume music has changed so much. It's a really fun time because we can be a lot more flexible now because we're getting a lot more efficient in the studio, where we know we can go in and knock something out and get something pretty solid, and because you don't know what kind of it's what people are going to want, what they're going to want to put out. So if we want to go ahead and put a record, we know we'll be ready to go out and knock it out.
And switching gears back to Love Ain't, you guys also released a very poignant music video to go with the song. Tell us a little bit about that, because you guys brought in the Wounded Warrior Project. You've shown a lot of light on that, which is an organization which is so great that we don't hear nearly enough about. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Wounded Warrior Project is, we've worked with them quite a bit over the last years, and so when we started talking about Love Ain't and what we wanted to do with the music video, we knew that we wanted to find that ultimate love story. Little did we know that Wounded Warrior Project was going to help us find one of the best love stories that we've ever seen. So the story of Taylor Morris and Danielle Morris is just, it's exactly what love should be. His story is that he came back in 2012, quadruple amputee after serving his country, and at that time Danielle was his girlfriend. She rushed to his side and was there for him. And this video kind of shows the story from 2012 to now, and it's their story on its own is an incredible, powerful story. And so our music and the Love Ain't song and the Love Ain't video, it's kind of this perfect explosion of emotion. I think we're really happy that they agreed to be a part of it.
And after seeing the video for the first time, do you guys kind of remember what your first reaction was to seeing it all come together, their story and your song?
It's powerful. I mean, it's the first video that we haven't been in, and I think it's the best video we've ever been a part of. If that makes any sense. It's tough to make a music video to make you feel something. I feel like so many things have been done in this. It's for better or for worse, our music almost becomes background to the story that's told, and which is great.
I've never heard more guys be like, "Oh, I think I got something in my eye," and that kind of thing. You hear that all the time, so it's really funny.
And I think I've heard from a lot of veterans and people who are still serving. The reason they love it is because it shines a light on what's still going on. It's just not in the news as much as it was, and we still have a lot of military serving overseas and people coming back, with difficulties and injuries and their stories aren't told as much as they were, a few years ago. So if it's shedding some light onto that, I think that's a great thing. We're really happy to be with Wounded Warriors Project to get the word out as much as we can.
And also shining a light on some of the families and partners and wives and stuff that they're there for them when they come home through. Sometimes they leave hell and they this whole new version of life starts that isn't easy, and they're helping them through that, and it's not always an easy road.
No, everything's amazing. It's an amazing message that you guys are sending, and thank you guys for bringing it back to life, because it really should be something that we need to hear more about for sure. And I know you guys also perform for the military quite often. You guys have some stops coming up. Do you guys prepare differently for those types of shows than you would for, during your normal tour?
It's pretty bare bones. I mean, USO which is what we're doing this year, and doing some other things too. But it's pretty bare bones when you go over there. You don't quite know what you're going into, and you have to make it work. But with kind of what you're given when you get there, but
Instrument-wise, because sometimes you go, you just bring your guitar, and you show up there, and you don't know whether or not you have the right amp or what, and you just hopefully everything works. But when it comes
we're
to
not taking our tour bus to Greenland?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
But it makes it worth it when you play in front of the fans, and people always come up and say, "Man, you're a taste of home," and at a time when we're missing, home the most right now.
Right.
Thank you guys for coming over, and so, that's what makes it worth it for us. Is we love our troops, and we love to just get back and go over and get to spread the joy of music.
Music is, has been the soundtrack of our lives, and that's obviously our passion. And we hear it from so many troops that we're beyond a playlist that they take overseas, and maybe that playlist is the thing that got them through a really tough deployment or a tough night or whatever, and they have a story that goes with it. And that's when music really gets internalized. And so to hear those stories makes us want to go play as many of those shows as we are allowed to go play. Those are the people that deserve the music the most.
Absolutely. And I'm sure it's a different feeling for you guys when you're done walking off stage, knowing that you just spread the love of music to them.
You don't feel pride of your country until you go see the men and women serving overseas. And you don't miss home quite so much. As if you're just traveling abroad, it's one thing, but when you can kind of see what they're going through a little bit and how removed they are.
You have a deeper understanding of what they're going through, which is a pretty amazing thing.
And speaking of playing, you guys have played so many different venues throughout your career. Is there a venue left that you guys haven't played at yet that's still on your bucket list for each of you?
Madison Square Garden.
I think shoot for the moon here.
We could do a couple gigs in Hawaii. That'd be fun.
Well, that's the only state we haven't played.
Yeah.
Really? Nice. Okay. And
so
also,
if you know anybody.
We can move Madison Square Garden to Hawaii and just knock it all at once.
There you go. And also, speaking of just amazing things that you guys have experienced, is there one moment, because I know amazing moments, they happen so fast. If you could go back and relive one moment from your career, what do you think it would be?
That's a tough one.
I mean, we have gotten to do so many just fun and cool things. I mean, I feel like when we first started doing late night TV shows, and kind of meeting the people we'd grown up watching on TV and starting to have those experiences, that would be fun to go back and revisit.
Winning the ACM award, I'd like to relive that night. I probably would have gave Taylor Swift a hug instead of a high five.
Right. I think the kind of the years we were the busiest, when we were still trying to break into radio and starting to see some success there, and everything was kind of turning over and really growing. We were so busy, we didn't get to enjoy it in the same way. We get to enjoy every moment now. It was such a blur, and we were spread so thin. And that's for that reason, I would love to go back and do it all over again.
Little moments so can.
Yeah.
And we're well into 2018, and summer's quickly approaching. What is something that you guys, or some things that you're looking forward to doing this year, and what can fans expect for the rest of the summer? Seeing you guys on the road. And
Love Ain't. That's kind of feels like, as we're going back and putting that logo all over our website and reskinning all of our social media stuff, it feels like it really is kind of turning the page to this next song. And it's been a little bit since we felt so much excitement from the label, from all the reps, from radio internally about a song. So, but we love that excitement, and we're excited to go share that. And even though people don't know the words of the song yet, and people are starting to hear it a little bit, it's just been so much fun to play live, and the reaction's been awesome. So we've experienced that, to watch a song grow night after night, week after week as it starts getting played, and I think that's what we're looking forward to.
It's fun to be outside again too. The beginning of this year, we had some great gigs, but they were in like the coldest places in the world, and so we just drudged through the snow and ice. So it's always fun. Summer gigs are a different vibe, and that's kind of our element our element is being outside and just the vibe off the crowd and people outside having fun and partying all day. So.
And then finally, country music is consistently evolving and growing. What is one aspect about this genre that really resonates with you?
It's great. It's fun to watch country music change over the years and to find our part in it. I feel like, I haven't told you guys, I got my son this record player, and I got this record, and it has on the sleeve, it's like an article talking about country music. This is back in the 60s, and it's talking about, it could have been about country music now, how there's a place for everybody in here, and you don't think you like country music, listen to it. It appeals to everybody.
That's one of the conversations I've always. It's always been because I've always said it's like every time somebody's like, country music is changing so much, and this isn't country music. It's like, well, they told Johnny Cash the same thing. It's always been a debate, and so I think that the beauty of country music is that the box gets bigger and bigger, and you can really continue thinking outside the box.
And it's a community. I mean, we live down in Texas, but
obviously it's an open door policy.
It's funny. It's fun to be part of that community and be part of the long history of country music, because it really is fun to think that we can fit in the landscape somewhere.
And they allow you to grow mustaches.
Can't grow a little beard, so I had to stop there.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for catching up. We're super excited for your new single and for everything that's ahead, and to see your show tonight and throughout the summer on the road.
Thank you. Thanks.